Welcome to chapter 4 of the book of 1 Kings, Solomon's rulers. A lot of names in this chapter, and the names, when we get to them, I'll read them with the Greek pronunciation because you can see the English. And King Solomon, Vasilevs, Vasilevon, there's the verb and the noun for king, Vasil, basil plant, basilica, so forth, derivatives. He was king over Israel. And these are the archontes, an archon, a ruler, who were with him. Azarias, son of Sadok, the priest, and this is a priest that went across the Jordan with his father when he was fleeing from Absalom. Elihophel and Ahiah, son of Zisah, they're scribes, grammatis, grammar comes from that. Eosaphat, son of Ahilud, was recorder. And Vaneas, son of Eodhae, was over the force. He was the one that killed all these people in 3rd chapter. And Zadok and Abiathar were priests. Now, Abiathar was sent away, though, because of David warning Solomon about him. And Abiathar took the side of the other brother. I'm trying to think. I can't think of his name. Of Solomon. And Azariah, son of Nathan, was over the ones being placed in charge. Now, there was another Nathan. There was a prophet, and then there was a official. There was an official of David that was called Nathan. And Zavud, son of Nathan, was companion of the king. And Ahisar, Economos, was a manager. Economy, see the derivative there? Almost a transliteration into economy. Economos. And Adoniram, son of Avdah, was over the tribute. He is tax collector. And to Solomon, Solomonti, were 12 being placed over all Israel. Solomon, in the dative case, 2, indirect object, then the spelling of the names changed. Not everybody, but some of them. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough about Greek and why they determine when some proper names are declined and others are not. I'm not sure how that goes. But Solomon was 12 men over all Israel to conduct matters for the king and to his house. A month in the year it happened for one to conduct matters. 12 months, 12 rulers. And these are their names. Venor in Mount Ephraim, son of Dakar. It's not Dakar because if it were the dot, it would be over the second alpha, then it would be Dakar. But Dakar in Makas. And in Salavin, this is not Ba, but Va, Salavin, and Veth Samis, and Elon unto Venanan, son Esed, in Ara, and then you roll the Aravoth. Of him was Soko, and all the land of Ophir. Avinadav, all Nephador was to the son of Avinadav. Taphath, Thegater, daughter. We have almost a transliteration. You change the th to the. Daughter of Solomon was to him for wife. Almost sounds, Egyptian. Vanah, son of Ahilud, to whom was Thaanach, and Megiddo, and all the house of Saan, by Sarthan, underneath Israel, from out of Saan unto Avomolah, unto Mever Egmaam, son of Gaver, in Ramoth Galaad. Of this one were cities of Air, son of Manasseh, in Galaad. To this one was a piece of measured out land, Argov, in Vasan, 60 cities, great and walled, and bars of Halki, brass, a Halcolithic era, Chalcolithic. Ahinadav, son of Ado, had Manaim. See, now here we got the alpha and the ota, but it would be a Manaim, but with the diaresis, the double dot, you split the diphthong into the both vowels and pronounce each vowel. So it's Manaim. Ahimaas was in Naphtali, and he took Basemath, the daughter of Solomon, for a wife. Baneas, son of Husi, was in Asir and in Valoth. And Hushai was a friend of his father David. Eosaphat, son of Pharuah, was in Asakar. Semai, son of Elah, was in Veniamin. Gaver, son of Uri, was in the land of Galaad, of Seon, of the king of the Amorites, Amoreon. And Og, Vasileos, Vasan, Og, king of Bashan, and Nasib, in the land of Judah, Eudah, was one. Eudas and Israel were exceedingly many as the sand upon the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and rejoicing. Everything was going well during the period of Solomon. Money coming in, tribute coming in from all around, lots of riches, eating, drinking, rejoicing, making merry. And Solomon was ruler in all the kingdoms from the river of the land of the Philistines unto the border of Egypt. Now, this is a river, I believe it would be the Euphrates, and up by Hamath, which was close, and would be in Lebanon, where the Philistines actually were at one time. Palestinians today, they came from the Philistines, and they were part of Tyre and Sidon, the Phoenicians. And unto the border of Egypt, so that would be all the way down to the bottom of the Mediterranean, where it curves, goes towards Egypt. And they were bringing Dora, gifts, with the name of Dora. Used to hear the name when I was young, gift. And they served Solomon all the days of his life. So Solomon had a long reign, a lot of wealth. And these were the necessary things to Solomon in one day. 30 cores, and there's Cori, transliteration, of fine flour, 60 cores of flour, regular flour, 10 choice calves, and 20 grazing oxen and 100 sheep, outside of stags and does, and chosen and feeding hens. For he was ruler in all the other side of the river, from Thapsa unto Gaza. Now I have Azza, because that's in the King James, so on the other side of the river, I would think that would be in Gilead on the east. In all the kingdoms on the other side of the Potomac River, It means river, Potomos, Potomac River. And there was to him Irene, peace from all of the parts round about. And Judah and Israel dwelt, being yielded each in his grapevine and under his fig tree, doing well, relaxing, eating. From Dan, which was north up towards Lebanon and further, unto Beersheba, Virsavae, which was down to the south by the Negev, all the days of Solomon. And there was to Solomon 40,000 horses for chariots and 12,000 horsemen. Now, the numbers in the Hebrew, sometimes they seem like they're over-exaggerated, and I need to do a study. I'm not expert on the Hebrew, and especially Hebrew numerology. The Hebrew alphabet it's a new alphanumeric alphabet like English or like Latin Roman numeral. If you have a Roman numeral V, it's a 5. If you have an X, it's 10. I is 1. C is 100. L is 50, and so forth. Greek has the same thing, and Hebrew does also. But in Greek, you can also spell out the word just like you can in English. Or in Roman numeral, you have the V for 5, or you can write F-I-V-E. Or the X for 10, you can write out T-E-N. Same thing with the Hebrew and the Greek. So I'm not exactly sure how the numerology works in the Hebrew. It seems times where there's like Samson kills 1,000 men and so forth, but it can have the exaggeration might have to do with the alphabet and the numerology. I'm not sure. And the ones being placed in charge conducted thus to King Solomon. And for all the declarations upon the table of the king. Well, now we have a declaration. Now we have this Alpha Gamma Gamma was a message, Angelos, a message, a messenger, angel. Here's a declaration. It's something spoken upon the table of the king, whatever he wanted. Each one in charge of his month. Now it goes back to those 12 men, I guess. And they altered not changing this to an account, because there takes both a word and an account. It has to do with numbering. And the barley and the straw for the horses and the chariots they took unto the place of whichever the king might be, each according to his arrangement. Apparently, there were many stables of Solomon throughout the area. And the Lord gave intellect to Solomon and great wisdom. So he was smart and wise. And increase in heart. Well, his heart didn't. This is another figure of speech. Heart didn't get bigger, but the feelings in his heart was right towards God, I suppose, as the sand by the sea. So he had everything. And Solomon multiplied exceedingly over the intellect of all the ancient men, and above all the intelligent ones of Egypt. And he discerned above all the men. And he discerned under, now we have these people, we don't know who they are, but they're mentioned here, wise men of history of the time. Itham, the Israelite, and Iman, and Halkal, and Thardai, sons of Mahol. And his name became famous among all the nations round about. And he spoke 3,000 paravolas, parables, a transliteration, and we will get into the parables of Solomon after a few more books. We're going to be going through, this is 1 Kings, 2 Kings, and then 1 Chronicles. I already did 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. Then we'll do Job, and then Psalms and Proverbs. In the Proverbs, parables. And his odes. He wrote songs, 5,000. And he spoke concerning the xylon from the Kedru in To Lavano. Xylon, we have wood or timbers. Xylophone comes from that, through a wooden mallets, a musical instrument with wooden pegs or bars, and you hit it with a mallet, makes a sound. Xylophone, xylon. From the Kedru, Cedar, transliteration. He spoke concerning all that. He knew about building. And unto the hyssop, now there's another, isopu, a transliteration, coming forth from out of the wall. So he knew about plants, so forth, and building. And he spoke concerning the cattle, so he knew about animals, and concerning the winged creatures, the birds, the petinon. We have a helicopter, petinon comes from that. And concerning the erpeton, reptiles. And concerning the ichthyon, ichthyology is the study of fish. He knew all about all these animals. And all the peoples came to him to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And we will have the Queen of Saba coming here in another chapter, maybe the next. And he took gifts from all the kings of the earth, as many as heard his Sophias, wisdom, Sophia, philosophy, friend of wisdom. So he heard, all these people heard of the wisdom and sent him money. The next chapter is Hiram. Okay, now we get into the building of the temple and the house of Solomon, something like the timbers of Lebanon, cedars of Lebanon. So next chapter, hope you'll join us, find out all about Solomon's buildings. Until then, God bless.